a sympathy that understands. Touch and heal all people suffering from various problems, especially those who are affected by COVID-19. Bless all the members of PTAT. Give courage and wisdom to all the participants, especially bless our new members, giving their icebreakers today, and all the road takers. May they do their best. Help us to tune our minds to higher and nobler thoughts. Help us to use our time and talents well and be a blessing to others. We make this prayer for your greater glory.
Yeah.
Kindly open your eyes.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Hilda. That was a meaningful prayer. Yes, we need to thank God for all the blessings He has shed upon us. Last meeting, we had the club contest, and day after, the 15 days were spent on all the other clubs and the area level contest. And I'm proud to inform to you, dear members, and to others who are here, that our club members were the runners-up at the area level, and they are Toastmaster Frenel, Toastmaster Anvish, and DTM Preetham Kamath. Dear contestants and dear winners, you are as good as winners because you all did remarkably well. Could we have a round of applause for our contestants who came as runners-up? Thank you. Now is the time for our members to speak about their achievements. I know there are plenty, enough of members who would like to share their achievements. So over to you, Port Towners, to share your achievements.
On 30th, I'm invited to Bantwal by the Rotary Club to receive a national award, is what they told me.
Congratulations, yes.
Yeah, they're celebrating Teachers' Day.
Yes. Can I go?
Yes, Veera, please.
I won the first runner-up prize in the tall tale contest conducted by Mahe.
Oh, congratulations. And any more? There are some any more, come on. Any
Your
more,
conducted 2 educational sessions on tall tale in 2 clubs in Kerala, Smart City and TCS clubs in Kerala. And I also had faculty development program for the Apostolic Carmel Sisters of 2 different batches actually, one at St. Anne's and one at St. Cecily's. St. Cecily's was online, St. Anne's was offline.
Yeah, congratulations. Okay, we are proud to hear. Yeah, some more and many more. Yes.
Right? Yeah, I won the 3rd place in the humorous story contest at Mahe.
Yes.
It's nothing funny.
No, why? Come on, yeah. It's an achievement. Congratulations, Brian. We are proud of you all. There are some more. I think we have Bharti. Anybody? Yeah. Anybody? Yeah. Geeta, you are the moderator. You can speak about anything. Come on, Geeta.
Thank you, Leera, for thinking I have made some achievement. But I have gone to work every day and come back. I think that is the only achievement I can speak of as of now.
Okay. That's good, Bharti. Thank you. And
as a debater of winners, I was a winner.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, now she's representing the area level from winners. Congratulations, Phyllis. Yes, Dr. CK.
Yeah, I would like to invite members of Port Town Advanced Toastmasters Show to the installation of the first trilingual club of the district, Karavali Toastmasters Club. That has been put in the division group. It's a Tulu, Kannada, and English trilingual Toastmasters Club. Will be having its charter night tomorrow, charter presentation at 6 p.m. I've put the link on the division group. So please grace the occasion. Of those of you who can spare time to be there, I'll be happy to see you amongst us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations on all the best.
I'm the sponsor of the club. I'm the sponsor of the club. That's why. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the president of the club is beaming with joy, but isn't saying anything. Toastmaster
No,
Anvesh
I'm good.
Shetty.
No. Yeah,
All the
that's
best.
what. Yeah, Anvesh
All the
has
best to the
say.
sponsor and the president of the new club.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody, anything else? Or shall I start with my my wins for the club's achievements? Yes. All Port Towners, I would say put your hands together for your club, because our club has achieved 4 awards for this season. I was told it is the #1 in Division F. I'm not sure. They are the Welcome Back Home Award, the Smedley Award, the Welcome Champion Award, and the Open House Award. And this would not be possible if our new members wouldn't have joined. So let's applaud for all of us. Thank you.
Especially the new members.
Yes.
Many of
Yeah.
whom will be speaking today.
Yes. Yeah. Now today we'll be having an array of icebreakers which we are looking forward to. Before I hand over to the TMOD, there will be an induction of 3 new members. I do not know whether Toastmaster Arun Kumar is here. So I'll be handing over to our VPM, Anvesh Shetty, who is the charter president, as Dr. said, of Karavali Trilingual Club, the first club in District 121, and he is by profession a chartered accountant. So established chartered accountant, I could say. I could correct myself. Yes, Anvesh. So over to you, Toastmaster Anvesh Shetty, to do the induction of the members. So do the honors, please.
Thank you, Madam President. And now, before I begin, I want to confirm whether TM Arun has joined us, because at the beginning of the meeting he had not joined us. So today we would be inducting him as well.
I don't think Anvesh had informed his sister, Dr. Veena. She said she would. I can't see him here. I think we'll look at it next time.
Okay.
Other Bo and Melroy are here. Melora are here. Melora.
Yes. Okay. Fellow Toastmasters, today we have 2 new members joining our club. Before I proceed with their induction, let me briefly introduce them. We have Bo Conroy Paul, I hope I pronounced it correctly, who completed his College for Leadership at HRD and Diploma in Investment Management, and he is currently pursuing MSc in Corporate Psychology. He plays violin and loves reading, and he's also into fitness. We also have Melora Pais. She teaches psychiatry at Sridevi College. Her hobbies are drawing, making handicrafts, swimming, and gardening. Fellow Toastmasters, it is now a duty and privilege to induct 3 new members into the Port Town Advanced Toastmasters Club. This is an important occasion, both for these new members and for our club. These individuals have come to Toastmasters seeking to improve their communication and leadership, and we now have an opportunity to help them learn, grow, and achieve. I will now call out the names of our new members. Please withhold your virtual applause until the ceremony is completed. First, Bo Conroy Paul and Melora Pais. You are joining a worldwide organization that has helped more than 4 million people to learn to communicate more effectively. As members of Port Town Advanced Toastmasters Club, you will be benefited from a proven program of self-development. You will become part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to help one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. Membership in this club and in Toastmasters International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards. It also places certain obligations upon you. We are a group of people brought together to do things we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members in a spirit of enjoyment. This means you must work diligently towards your own self-development, evaluate others' speeches in a spirit of support and sharing, assist the club in reaching its goals, remain positive and keep a smile on your face. We ask you, our new members, to dedicate yourself to personal growth, to share this great gift with your fellow members, and to help keep this Toastmasters Club strong and dynamic. When I say I, please say your name. This is for the new members. So when I say I, please say your name. I,
Melora
Conroy Paul. In the presence of my fellow members of the Port Town Advanced Toastmasters Club, make this firm obligation. to attend meeting regularly and prepare fully for each assignment, to apply myself to the projects outlined in the Toastmasters education program, to participate actively in club activities, to evaluate others in a positive, constructive manner, to build open, friendly relationships with my fellow members, and to bring other new members into the club so that they can also gain the benefits of Toastmasters. Do you agree to be bound by these obligations? Please respond by saying, I do.
I do.
I do.
Now I pronounce you as Toastmasters. Please join me in
Thank
welcoming
you.
our newest members to our club. With this, induction is over. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Anvish. I felt I was in a court and the way they took oath and all. Thank you. It was very clear. You did a good job. Now, before I hand over to the Toastmaster of the day, DTM Bharti Shivgur, she has many feathers to her cap. DTM Bharti Shivgur was a part for many years, the teaching fraternity at St. Aloysius College or St. Aloysius College in Mangalore. She has authored 2 coffee table books already, and 1 is on the way. And she's an educationist. She's what to say? She has many feathers. I just can't get, because the list is on and on. So over to you, DTM Bharti Shivgur, to take us into this neological world which we're all looking forward to. Over to you, DTM Bharti Shivgur, the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, President Lyra. I'm searching for my feathers because obviously you were looking up. They must be flying somewhere. I hope to collect them later. Just in a lighter vein, Lyra. Dear members and guest functionaries, Toastmaster Paul Ansel and DTM Sabu Sebastian, welcome to a new world where a Toastmasters meeting has 4 icebreakers and 1 second speech. Also, an evaluator and a G from a sister club. Sometimes across the 7 seas. Now we have a member, I think, across the 7 seas, though our brothers from the sister club aren't. And of course, it is online, so it is a whole new world, no doubt about it, as our SAS, Brian said. What I liked about what Brian said was, among many things, Brian, that you said, that the path that I show might be free. I wish that was otherwise, but that I could charge for any path that I show, but it is not to be. It gave me a new world of where I could charge. Yeah, this new world fits right in with the theme. It's a neological world, a world of neologisms, which is the use of a new word or expression or of an established word in a new or different sense. What is to be noted is that the difference between this and other new words is that this word may not be sanctioned by conventional standard usage. It means they may not have been accepted into the Oxford English Dictionary, for example, but they would if they stay. In this meeting, my intention is to bring up only neologisms of the 21st century, which is a huge repository of language data because the internet happened in 1998, resulting in an unprecedented explosion in the invention and spread of new words. Let me give you a quick sample before I move into the functionaries and on with the agenda. So here I go with my first one. Not at all surprising, but we are living this world. 20 years ago, there was no Google. We did not, our connectivity meant the roads were good. We browsed in actual libraries. We didn't need Wi-Fi or a QR code. We didn't need apps. Today, we are digitizing what texts we have earlier, and we are waiting for our videos to buffer because they might have gone into the spam library or whatever it is, spam basket. And you come across advertisements or taglines that are clickbaits. We're waiting for upgradations of our apps because our timelines are flooded with stuff that we have downloaded. We did not have these 20 years ago. We are now living this life. So with that first slide on technology, let me now run through the functionaries list. We have speakers. Wayne D'Souza, evaluated by Toastmaster Paul Ansel of Advanced Toastmasters Club of Kochi, Kerala. Speaker 2 is Trisha D'Souza, evaluated by Maria Di Costa. Speaker 3 is Zaibunisa, evaluated by Anu Sharma. Speaker 4 is Melora, evaluated by Geeta Pereira. Speaker 5 is Conroy Bhopal, evaluated by Radhika Adappa. The table topics master is Prenil. General evaluator is our guest Toastmaster from Advanced Toastmasters Club, Kochi DTM, Sabu Sebastian. The grammarian is Urmila. Our counter is Veera and timer is Shivani. After the speech segment, we will have the table topics, after which I request Prenil to hand it back to me to introduce the GE and ask him to take over. I now request our grammarian, DTM Urmila, to give us the word for the day. Urmila, you have to unmute. Please unmute, Urmila.
Okay.
Yes.
Good evening, PTATers and guests. The word I've chosen is, I'll put it up so that you get a little more familiar with it, is, oh dear, is cliche. Cliche. Now, I chose it particularly because even before we learn a language, the language we're learning is becoming commonplace, hackneyed, something that has been overused. And so we are looking at new ways to express ourselves, and that's where I think Bharati is at. New ways to express yourself and new expressions for things that have come up newly, like all the computer neologisms, like webinar, malware, and things like that, even pandemic, I suppose. So how overused? For instance, even words that we want to learn, you know, things like problematize, where you create a problem so that, you know, you see what the problem is so that you try and find a solution. Now, students, for instance, would overuse this word to show their intelligence, right? Now, we've hardly learned the word before it goes out of fashion. So, but cliches, if you go on hearing something, cliches tend to close a person's mind and they do not want to listen anymore. And some people are full of cliches. So may I give you the pronunciation, as I said, is cliche, and you can use it, that is a noun, a cliche. You can use it in the plural as cliches, and you can use it as an adjective, cliched. Okay, so let me give you one sentence for cliche. Americans vowing to move to Canada after the presidential election is almost a cliche. Okay, or she trotted out an old cliche that trouble shared is trouble halved. That's what I say. I mean, we learn these sayings, and before we use them, it's already become a cliche. So some people have, this is another use, a cliche-ridden style, a cliche-ridden style. And tired cliches like the information revolution, things like that. So cliches could be anything. Time heals all wounds. I'm like a kid in a sweet shop. Don't put all of your eggs in the basket. So how do you get over not being cliche? It is probably like the person. A storyline might seem like a cliche, except that the author gives it a unique twist. So you take your cliche and you try and turn it around. Okay? Time heals all wounds, but not mine, if you say, then you know you're aware of, you know, the cliche and so on. So best of luck with using the word cliche cliche or cliched. Okay, is that clear? Clear, everyone?
Yeah, yes, Urmila. Yeah, if I may. Urmila, thank you very much. I don't, thank you very much. It also sounds like a cliche now because I have not substituted with an original word or a creative word. But then you not only told us what cliche is, you also gave us examples of how we could avoid falling into the trap of the tried and tested cliches, tired or otherwise. Thank you for that. So with this, I request our first speaker, Wayne D'Souza, to be ready. Wayne is pursuing civil engineering from Nitte Engineering College. An avid reader, he plays football, and more interesting for us Toastmasters is that he plays the drums. That's Wayne D'Souza for you. I request Toastmaster Paul Ansel to read out the objectives of Wayne's speech. Toastmaster Paul, over to you. You're muted, Paul. You're muted.
So, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, my speaker, Toastmaster Wayne D'Souza, is attempting his Level 1 Project 2 from its Pathways Leadership Development. This is a twin project. I would like to call it as a twin speech project because the first speech, what he do today, will be given, evaluated, and he could use the feedback received today to reshape it and present before the audience as a second speech. And the objective is he could
You are muted, Paul. Paul, you're muted. Please unmute.
Sorry. So you will be receiving the evaluation, which could be used as a feedback, and you could reshape and present your second speech. So all the very best, Toastmaster Wayne, for your speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Paul. Wayne, let me give the name of your speech. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Toastmaster Wayne D'Souza on his Path Leadership Development Level 1 Project 2, Navigating Through Deep Waters, Wayne D'Souza. Wayne D'Souza, you may start.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. Embrace uncertainties because the most beautiful chapters in our lives doesn't have a title until very much later. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Having studied in Manipal for a very long part of my schooling, I found it rather difficult to move on with my life, to go on the next stage, and that is to move to Mangalore. It was a very different time for me because I found it very difficult and sad to say goodbye to the number of friends I made. But on the other hand, I was equally excited to see what life had to throw. I had enrolled myself into the prestigious college of St. Aloysius in Mangalore. On the first day of college, I was shocked. It was so different from where I came from. I found so many people in the college. And fun fact, the year I joined, there were around 2,000 students who had enrolled just for my year. So it was difficult for a boy who used to be in a class of 25 students to suddenly move on to a class of around 90 students. It was like a huge swarm of bees. Had we had a few more students, I'm pretty sure we could declare ourselves as a separate country. But college, my time in college had not been a straight road. I kind of found myself choking or falling back. All around myself, I could see the people were much better than me in every possible way. They were better than me in extracurricular, they were better than me academically, and all around they seemed to have a path ahead. I found it very difficult to fit in, and I felt, and that had a negative impact on my personality. For me, it was very difficult to accept the fact that maybe my life is going downhill. Because you see, the PUC time of any student is very confusing. You have a short amount of time to take a decision which in turn affects your whole life. Or that's how Mangalorean mothers force it onto their children. But somehow I managed to drag myself during these 2 years. In this self-loathing time, I finally managed to complete my education of my PUC. But then I had a choice to either continue down this miserable line where I blame myself for everything, or I could pause, I could take a breath and ask myself what I'm doing wrong and how I can change it. And that is exactly what I've done. I paused myself. I wanted to learn about myself and see where I had gone wrong. And then I realized that the reason why I'm falling back is because I am scared of throwing myself out of my comfort. Everything in college, in my PUC, was totally different from how it was in school. And that had put a pressure and a sense of fear in me, the fear of going through the deep ends of the water. And then I didn't want this to continue with me when I was about to go for my engineering. So this is what I did. A simple yes. I said yes to every opportunity that could come to my doorstep. If I knew that I had something in me that can help me work through this opportunity, I would definitely say yes. It was around this time that luckily I was introduced to Toastmasters. Over here, I found a large group of people who I didn't know, but they were kind enough to teach me, and I could learn a lot more from them. Toastmasters helped me boost my confidence. I also had fear of meeting new people. Like many of you knew the first day I had come to Toastmasters, I didn't talk to anybody. I was scared. I was scared of people, and everybody seemed too scary to me. But slowly, I had also erased this fear. This has had happened when I, through Toastmasters, joined an NGO, a locally based NGO. Through here, I found myself among people from different walks of life and different understandings of different languages. And yet, I found it easy. The more and more I started involving myself in it, the more and more easier it was for me to build up this relationship with different people. Now, my two biggest fear, that is confidence in front of large group of people and fear of being in new places, turn into my strength. And this also helped me in my biggest fear when I was in college, that was stage fear. As you could see, in college, I found it very difficult to go on the stage. I was always choking up, and I felt like I wasn't worthy enough to be on a stage. But now I am part of a band from a medical college. Please note that I come from an engineering college, and I met a whole new group of people from a different world, and yet I found it very easy to be friends with them. By by now, I have come to the realization that confidence, lack of fear, and the winning attitude, it doesn't is not an inborn quality. It's something you work towards. And unlike the cliche self-help books or the self-help gurus tell it, it's not difficult to achieve it. You just need to say yes. You need to throw yourself out in the deep waters, and you need to take every opportunity that comes to your path. As Maya Angelou rightly puts it, you may not control what happens to you, but you can always choose to not be reduced by it. And towards the end of my second speech, I have realized that I can put an end to all my insecurities and also an end to my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for showing us what a wonderful navigator you are. Now you can not only swim across those deep waters, you can even walk on them, looks like, from your speech. Thank you for that. Dear friends, before we go to our icebreaker one, that is Trisha's, let me put up a list that looks like so cliched now, But it was wonderful once upon a time, maybe a couple of years back. Yes, our abbreviations. We laughed out loud, we rolled on the floor laughing. By the way, we said be right back. We said, oh my God, I too have a point of view. And ASAP, what is ASAP? As soon as possible. I'll do it myself because I have a fear of missing out. And now I want to miss out so much that I have a joy of missing out because we are best friends forever. As I said, all these sound cliched now. When will they become cliches and stop being neologisms? As of now, they're considered neologisms, but let's see. The time is still ripe for them to be booted out from the neologisms list. Our second speaker is Toastmaster Trisha. I request her evaluator, DTM Maria Di Costa, to read out the objectives.
Toastmaster
Yes.
Trisha. Toastmaster Trisha is on her first pathway, presentation mastery. She is on her first speech, the icebreaker speech. The objective is to introduce herself to the audience. Time is 4 to 6 minutes. Trisha, all the best. I know you will do well.
Thank you, Trisha, over to you. Over to you.
You
may begin.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Let me read out your speech title, Trisha.
Yes.
Yeah. You have said, a tide with Trisha, Trisha D'Souza. A tide with Trisha, Trisha D'Souza.
Ma'am, am I audible? Can everybody
Yes,
hear?
you are audible. Yes, you are. You start.
Enjoy life. There's plenty of time to be dead, said Hans Christian Andersen. While this may be a seemingly dark thought, I think it stands to keep us on the precipice of life and everything it has to offer. Good evening, dear Toastmasters. The subject for my icebreaker is life. Born and raised in Mangalore, I was privileged to be part of a joint family. I got accustomed to laughter and chaos that challenged the roof of our home. It simply had the energy to fill a day with pure joy. My childhood saw the entertainment in cartoons and the excitement in outdoor games. As a 90s kid, I enjoyed the best of both worlds. An ICSE education taught me prose and poetry, coexistence in coeducation, and passionate curiosity. Intent to pursue my legacy narrowed my pathway into the field of commerce. This deviation kicked off my post-graduation in marketing and human resources. I dove headfirst into the world of logos and strategies. In addition to education, which I think turns mirrors into windows, it taught me life away from home and an independence that I think is required by every person of my generation to understand true blessings in life. I worked in the hotel industry and had the chance to network with so many different people. I conducted events, participated in social media marketing, organized conferences, and best of all, familiarized myself with various quirks and peculiarities. Back on home ground, I stumbled into something really fun, the family business. I've been thrust into the alien world of accounts and work every day to do my grandfather proud. Behind the scenes is where I prefer to be. Manage the strings that pull off the show. The same goes for any family dinner or celebration with my dearest ones that involves a theme, props, and creative decor, right from the invitation to the menu, whether or not it's a cliche. I think the kick in my voice says it all. At least I hope it does. It's what I intend to do for Toastmasters as well. In the face of cushions and cuddles, life always has a way to get the best of you. It's what you do in the face of that adversity that matters most. It took me a while to get past the family drama, friends who refuse to grow up, and a society that finds itself difficult to rationalize. But here I am, wide-eyed and willing to be part of a team that I have every confidence in. A virtual arena that bolsters support, and a presence of souls that forms a safe space. My uncle reiterated the lyrics of Bob Marley saying, "Don't worry, be happy." And that's exactly what I intend to do. My name is Trisha Lara D'Souza, and I'm here to prosper and rise. Thank you.
Yes, that was Trisha for us, Trisha D'Souza. Wide-eyed and willing, she said. We're waiting to hear more of you, Trisha. So let me now put, before I go on to the next speaker, the third list for you. Hopefully this will not be cliched. It's about people. They say that you are a geek because you're a computer geek, because you were a nerd and you were always looking at your books, studying in school. But then you may also binge watch Netflix and Amazon. But then be careful, you may become a workaholic too. But then I understand you have very good street cred. Be careful, there may be trolls there. Hopefully you will become a metrosexual, because there's nothing wrong with looking after your appearance, even if you are a male. Do become a jet setter, but don't become a go-getter, because Toastmaster Urmila has told us that go-getter is not a positive word, but I hope you become lit. You're a good reader, and that is because you are a social influencer too. That was some list that I found that describes people. So with that, we go on to our third speaker. Our third speaker is Toastmaster Zaibu Nisa. I request our evaluator, Toastmaster Anu Sharma, to read out the objectives. Yes, Anu.
Welcome, Zaibu Nisa. Pathways are level 1. Her project is Icebreaker. Title Zaibu Nisa, and her time is 4 to 6 minutes.
Yes.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes.
Am I visible and audible?
You are audible. And you are visible too. Please wait for me to announce your name and the title. That is why I take great pleasure in announcing Zaibu Nisa, Zaibu Nisa. Zaibu Nisa, Zaibu Nisa. That is the title of her speech too. Over to you, Zaibu Nisa.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Shall I start, ma'am?
Please start. Over to you.
Yes. Yeah. Hope is the only bee that makes honey without flowers. Good evening, Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guest. It's me, Zaibu Nisa, born in 1963, 6th of December, to the adorable parents. Their values and virtues have come to me as a precious gift in a current flow. I have 4 siblings, 1 brother and 3 sisters. I schooled in St. Jerosa Girls High School, Jappu, Mangalore. While at school, I was a bit different student from the others. While the others played during the leisure time, I spent my time in the library reading Amar Chitra Katha and Kannada novels. Photography is my passion. Lost interest in games and sports because I had a leg fracture in class 5. After SSLC, I completed a 2-year course of teachers training at the Government Women's Training Institution, Balmata, Mangalore. At the age of 19, I worked at Kasargod in an English medium school for nearly 3 years. Time immemorial, in the year 1989, married to a person who is so caring, reassuring to take my own decisions. Blessed with 2 lovely daughters, well settled now. Completing 27 years of my teaching profession at 2 different government schools has given me contentment to dream. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. Yes, dear friends, I would like to share something special. We all have dreams and want to achieve our dreams. But in my life, I have an adorable person, my inspiration, that is Mrs. Maria Di Costa, who has a dream for me in achieving my destination and wants me to excel in communication skills. Thank you, dear ma'am, for that dream of yours. 6th December 2023. I'll be retiring. As I just close my eyes to see my retirement, a cozy house, a room full of books, a warm kitchen with all good food, an open living room, always welcoming. As I open my eyes, I try to see this world and strive to make it a better place. I see what I do in development and education. As I see and have belief that I do make a difference in a person at a time. Dear friends, for me, my retirement, I'm looking forward for my little paradise and inviting you there. Now, I want to ask you, what do you see when you close your eyes? Thanking you all. Over to Toastmasters. So.
Thank you, Zaibunisa, for that open invitation to your retired paradise. It is an invitation we will take advantage of. Never
Yes,
fear.
sure.
Advanced Toastmasters
Yes.
will always take advantage if anybody invites them home. You will get
Yes,
to know
ma'am.
this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, before we move on to the 4th speaker, let me share with you this list of entertainment. Who would say that we didn't use the word selfie 10 years back? And lest you become a meme, be careful. And if you have produced a movie, don't worry if you can't release it in a theater because there is a pandemic. You can always release it in an over-the-top platform like Amazon or Netflix, where you'll find a lot of stand-up comedy. Take care to see that your Twitter handle is well known for the right things and your page displays the advantages of your firm or your own personality, and your website is always updated. Also take care to see that your Zoom ID, password and link is always there on the invitation, because ladies and gentlemen, we are always up for infotainment. We are up and above for infotainment, that which itself is a neologism. With that, I call upon our fourth speaker, who is Toastmaster Melora. I request our evaluator, Toastmaster Geeta Pereira, to read out the objectives. Geeta, over to you.
Good evening, port owners and guests. Today, Melora is debuting her pathways, and she has chosen the path strategic relationship. The purpose statement of this project is for the member to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. Time is 4 to 6 minutes. Good luck, Melora.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Melora, open-eyed dreams. Open-eyed dreams, Melora Pies. Over to you, Melora.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Melora, and visible.
And visible
Please.
as well. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta, for the introduction and for my pathway and everything. And Toastmaster Anvesh for that introduction. It really made me feel very special with that induction. A very good evening, Madam President Lyra Pinto, Toastmaster of the Day Bharati Shevpur, distinguished Toastmasters, my fellow Toastmasters and guests. I would like to begin by quoting the lyrics of a very famous song that I grew up listening to. You might also know the lyrics of the song. It goes like this. When I was just a little girl, I would always ask my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? And here's what she'd say to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Now, this song has been very dear to me. Obviously, one, for its very catchy tune, and secondly, because I felt like I could connect to this song in many ways. I was always like this little girl who would have many dreams, and I'd keep asking questions about my future. Well, whether I'd be pretty or not was not one of those questions, but whether I'd be rich, or whether I'd have rainbows in the sky day after day, or whether it would be like the Mangalorean thunders and lightning. Being the younger amongst two sisters, I have always been the pampered child. Or if I have to say it in my sister's words, I've been the baby of the house who never seems to be growing up, even in size or even otherwise. But being the younger one, I've always been free-spirited, and I look forward to life with all its fullness. Well, there were so many dreams that I'd seen. Like I would one day wake up and say I would want to be an air hostess. But as I grew up and realized my stature is nowhere close for an air hostess, that dream moved out. Then there were times when I would say I would become an astronaut, which I have no idea where it came from because I had absolute no interest in science. But one dream that always by me was that of being a teacher. So I'd have these very elaborate games where I'm the teacher and I have my imaginary students. There was this old wooden cupboard that served like my blackboard. I would have these little pieces of chalks that I would steal from school and a big stick that acted like my scale. And not to forget, an attendance register with the names of all my 80 classmates in the alphabetical order. Today, I am a teacher in real, and I teach the postgraduate students at at the Sridevi College of Social Work. And with the online classes, when I now take up my attendance and teach my lessons, I often find my parents standing somewhere to the corner and smiling, remembering my childhood days where I would teach these in my imaginary classes. But trust me, my real classes are much more fun than my imaginary classes. Now, this was not my only dream. I remember this one incident where my auntie asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And out of nowhere, I said to her that I wanted to be a child specialist doctor. Now, my auntie then, since then, whenever I would speak to her or meet her, she would always make it a point to remind me that I had to become a child specialist doctor. And she would say to me that she would bring her grandchildren to me. Now, what she didn't realize was that I was not referring to being a pediatrician. I wanted to be a child mental health specialist doctor. Back then, I didn't know what it was called, and that is why I used the word child specialist doctor. And today, I am a psychiatric social worker, and I work with children who have mental or behavioral problems, and I help them and their families in coping with this. Now, I know the word psychiatry draws a lot of cliche, one of them being that I can read your minds. No, I cannot read your minds by just looking at you. It's a science by itself, and it's all clear. Well, the pathway that I have chosen, I hope, will be a literal pathway for me to fulfill my third open-eyed dream, and that is of being able to build engaging relationships and networks. Over the past few years of my life, I have tried my hands at many different things, work-wise and personally. I look forward to exploring many more arenas of my interest and to leave my impact on this world and in every person my touch, and to be always remembered as the chota packet bada dhamaka. Thank you.
Thank you, Melora. You are definitely not a chota packet, but you are a bada dhamaka, baby of the house, who can now be called a child's doctor. May not be of the body, but definitely of the mind, the heart, and the soul. Yes, that was Melora Pies for you. Toastmasters, I have a question for you.
Thank you.
I need you to give me one word, and that is, you see, I have given you word lists of technology, abbreviations, that is neologisms, people, and entertainment. I found that there is one area that has the most number of neologisms after technology, of course. Can you tell me what area of life it is? The most number of neologisms are in this area, surprisingly. Anyone? One word. Just some, it could be a profession, it could be something that's happening. It could be like, say, chartered accountancy or something like that.
Politics, perhaps?
Not politics, not politics.
Internet or
Louder?
Medicine.
Internet.
Medicine.
Medicine.
Yeah, other computer I will take to technology. That's why I don't include that. I have said other than technology.
Cuisine.
Cuisine, yes, but there is one area more than cuisine, which you will be surprised. You wouldn't expect it. All right, I will put you out of your suspense.
Misery.
Students.
I will put it up. I won't say it. I will put it up. And that is 5, 3, 4, 5. Yes, here it is. Publishing. My area. That's why I was very proud. You see, we didn't have Wikipedia in the previous century. 20 years have passed, because you can now hear podcasts, do have a blog through which you can communicate, do tweet, and do have an Instagram handle. You can read through ebooks, but be careful of cyber bullies, because they are there in cyberspace. You may be texting or sexting, which I advise you not to do, not because I judge you for doing it, definitely not, but because the internet is an unforgiving space which will come back to haunt you. It might go into your sexting, might go into your spam folder, but it might come back to you with a hashtag and an emoticon. So these were some of the words. I believe many neologisms have been born in the world of publishing. So with that, I move on to my next speaker. And that is, the fifth speaker is Toastmaster Conroy Bhopal. I request our evaluator, Toastmaster Radhika Adappa, his evaluator, sorry, to read out the objectives.
Toastmaster Bo Conrad Paul also is giving his icebreaker under motivational strategies. Level 1, The time would be 4 to 6 minutes. Title is This Is Me. All the best, Toastmaster.
Yes, Bo, how do you want to be addressed? Conroy, Bo, Paul, you can tell us.
Ma'am, my whole life everyone's used all of my names, so I'm comfortable with any one of them. So
You'll have to make a choice, and
not at all a problem.
remember the choice that you make now will stick. So tell us one thing.
I was Bo because
Bo.
everyone will know who
Okay,
it is you're
all
talking
right.
about.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
Toastmaster Bo. This is, I think the title is This Is Me. This Is Me, Toastmaster Bo. Over to you, Bo.
Ma'am, is it okay?
Yes,
I will go ahead.
over to you.
It's audible, no, ma'am?
It is
Now there's
audible.
disturbance.
There's a bit of disturbance. Speak once more. Let's check.
Now, is it more audible now, ma'am?
Audible, but don't shake that wire. I mean, you have to stay still.
Yeah, ma'am. Now it's fine?
It's fine. Go ahead. Please
Okay,
start.
ma'am. I'd like to start with a favorite quote of mine: blood, sweat, and respect. The first two you give, the last you earn. This was beautifully put by Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name, as I was introduced multiple times today, is Bo Conroy Paul. My parents gave me my name because they wanted me to be known by something that was very unique. The name Bo is a very unique name where not many people get to hear the name on a regular basis. I am one of two siblings. My sister, who is 8 years elder than me, works in Bangalore. My mother's an English lecturer, and my father is an aquarist, animal activist, and he is the president of Animal Care Trust. Because of this, we tend to get a lot of animals home. So I get to see a lot of amazing animals on a regular basis. Most recently, we had 5 pythons at home, but they were recently released into the wild and set free. However, me as a person has never shared the same interest as my father. I never liked animals as much as he did. Have always been into sports. It all started when I was in the seventh standard, when my PT sir came up to my mother and asked her to put me under a coach named Dinesh Kundar. My grandfather was an athlete in the RAF, and my cousin is an Asian level gold medalist. And he too had worked out under the same coach. So I was incredibly excited to start working out under him. However, I could not have foreseen just how hard he pushed each and every one of us every single day to achieve what we needed. So started my 8 year journey, where for the next 8 years, sports athletics was the center of my universe. I was a 400 and 200 meter athlete. So because of this, we are pushed to the limit. Our workouts consisted of about 6 hours a day, where we worked out for about 2.5 to 3 hours in the morning and 2.5 hours to 3 hours in the evening. So because the workouts were so difficult, what would usually happen is we'd start the workout, we'd go, we throw up, then we come back, finish little more bit of the workout, again go and throw up, and come back and finish off the workout. And the more we puke, the more happier our sir was. He was very happy because he knew that we pushed ourselves to the limit that day. Because he pushed us on a regular basis to our limits, I have competed in the nationals quite a few times. However, I have never gotten the opportunity to win. One of my worst losses was when I came in fourth, and the guy who came third was 50. His timings was 50.33 seconds, and mine was 50.36 seconds. I lost by point 0.3 of a millisecond. That was my worst loss, and even after that, I went on to never win in the nationals. However, all these losses taught me to become a stronger human being and as an individual. It showed me and how much you can learn from each and every one of your losses. But uh, as the failures piled on, it became harder and harder for me to stay in the sport, and I decided in first year degree to drop out of athletics. However, I had sports being the center of my universe, I had absolutely no clue as to what to do next. I was very confused. Yes, I used to go to college, but I didn't know what else to do other than that because all I ever did was work out, go to college, and work out. So as I went forward, uh, yeah, uh, yeah. The next step, I joined a course in CLHRD, which is conducted by Mr. Sunny Tarapan. Here it showed me just how much there was to life outside of sports. So through this course, it showed me I started getting more and more interested in learning how to talk, learning to become more social, and become much more proficient in relating to people. So that was it's one of my huge milestones. The next one of my milestones came when I joined my PG in Aloysius, where I did my corporate psychology. Here we learned a lot about human behavior and a lot more. Here I was introduced to Miss Preetham Kamath, who is a member of the course, who introduced me to Toastmasters. When I learned what Toastmasters was, I knew that this was the next step for me to take to further better myself. So I'd like to thank everyone who helped me come here today. I'd like to finish by a quote by Serena Williams. Everyone should work to better themselves till the day they die. Thank you.
Thank you, Bo. That was Bo Conroy. I'll call you Bo. Toastmaster
Yeah.
Bo, who referred to blood, sweat, and respect, not blood, sweat, and tears, which would have been a cliche because that is a statement by Winston Churchill to motivate the soldiers in World War II. Good of you. Yes, thank you, Bo. Friends, with that, we come to the end of the speech segment. Timer Shivani, would you give us a report of the time taken by our speakers? Shivani, over to you.
Yeah, all are qualified. All the speakers were within time, so all are qualified.
Brian will be sending the link on the WhatsApp group. I request you to vote for the best speaker. I will forward the link to our guest Toastmasters. I now hand over the session into the capable hands of Toastmaster Frenil, who has dazzled us with his oratorical abilities in the recently concluded area debate. Toastmaster Frenil, over to you to conduct the table topic session. Over to you, Frenil.
Thank you, ma'am. I believe I'm audible. Yes.
Yes, you are. You are.
Okay. So I'm here to conduct something called as table topics, which is the hot category in Toastmasters speech. Any meeting you take, this is where people get to test their ability to think on your feet. So on an off chance of anybody not knowing what table topics are, we'll be giving you a topic. Usually it will be written, but today it will be a little different. But you have to speak about that topic. And the time allowed is 1 minute, 1 minute 30 seconds, and 2 minutes being the max. So I need volunteers. Anybody is willing to take up the topic? Please show me.
Dear friends, whoever is not taking up roles may please volunteer. You may just give out your name. He will give you the topic.
Yes, if nobody volunteers, then I'm going to call out names.
Yeah, maybe Frenil, you should start calling out names.
Yes, then let me start with, okay, first let me talk with non-role takers. Okay, why don't we start with Malini ma'am? We haven't heard from Malini ma'am for table topics in a long time. Ma'am, are you ready?
Yes, Frenil.
Yes, ma'am, this is the first topic for today. The topic number one, you have to connect these two images.
Hello. How boring my life is. Sitting in front of my laptop, speaking to my clients, when I see that my cousin has the time of her life at the seashore. Well, I do not really know how to get out of this routine. They say work from home, and working from home has actually not doubled but tripled the work that we do. And till 1:30 in the night, I work and work and work, whereas my cousin has her relaxation of her lifetime. I should say, looking at the seashore, whale of a time that she enjoys. Well, but then let me ask you something. To enjoy yourself, don't you need to earn money? And that's exactly what I'm doing, earning money. And let me tell you, when many of the companies have shut down, people like me, because of our characteristic of working hard, putting in efforts that every time others actually cannot, we have actually come up in life. Even during the pandemic, we have done so well that instead of earning in 4 digits, my salary now has gone up to 5 digits, all because of the effort that we put in. As our prepared speaker both said, even when we think that there are failures, failures are actually not failures. You will learn a lesson from your failure, and that's what I did. But with the heart, in the heart of my heart, actually I want to enjoy myself. So I'm waiting for this pandemic to be over and to go out into the new world and have my gala time at the seashore. But then, will I be able to let my hair loose as that beautiful girl, my cousin, whom I look at quite enviously, quite often in my life? Because during the pandemic, we have not gone out, so I've not taken care of myself. So I see that, first of all, if I have to present myself out in the wide world, I must see that I'm presentable, and that's what I'm going to do. Yes, over to you, table topic master.
Oh, flawless, flawless. So, do we have any other volunteers? It was such a great table topic. Any other volunteers, or I'll call out names. Can show
One
your
more,
hand.
Malini. Hello, Frenel.
Yes,
One more,
yes. Hi,
Malini.
hi, hi.
I
Okay,
have got cold feet, even if the topic is hot. But it's
okay.
okay. I'll give it a try.
Let's go ahead. The second topic is connect these two images.
Okay, Madam President, Toastmaster of the Day, and a table topic master. I have a pet, my Maiko. I cry whenever he's injected. Either it is anti-rabies or whatever. Even when he falls sick, when he throws up, I do cry. I have so I have 2 children. I have 1 husband, but I have 2 dogs, which are dear to me. I cuddle them only when they are washed, only when they are taken to a sauna bath or whatever. Otherwise, I just pet them from far. I just talk to them from far. And then I hug them, cuddle them when they are clean and nice and smelling good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Malini ma'am. Next, I call upon
I can volunteer.
ATM, yes, yes. We have the answer. The topic for you, topic 3, will be to connect these two images.
Thank you, Frenel, for a very wonderful topic. Actually, I was feeling hungry. And the one picture on the left, on my left, I think will satiate me rather than the one on the right. But more often than not, as long as I was a bachelor, the one on the right would also have to satiate me. Sometimes in married life too, if there is friction between the husband and the wife, I'm sure the one on the right is the plate that it keeps my stomach full because it's easy to make. You dip it into the water, boiling water, and it becomes your meal. The one on the left, the gourmet meal, the meal that is spread across the table, takes some time to prepare. But if you have the interest and if you are hungry enough, you will put your hand into it. And believe me, I'm a pretty decent cook, and I think I can manage to fill my plate with that variety rather than the one on the right. But that has come with experience and sometimes because of necessity. And over a period of time, I'm now the most sought after gourmet cook in the family. So that's where I stand, and I never have to eat what's in this on the plate on the right, the noodles that you're showing me, ever again. But if you come calling to my house, if I don't invite you, what you're going to get is exactly that. Thank you, Brennan.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for that wonderful analysis of the image that I put up. Do I have more volunteers? Anybody can volunteer? Yes,
Okay.
Jane has volunteered. So I'm going to show you the next topic. Please unmute yourself.
Who, Dane?
Claudette, who
Kindly
has
unmute yourself.
volunteered. Claudette.
Okay. Okay.
Claudette has volunteered.
Okay. Okay. Then this topic goes for Claudette. 1 second. Yes. The topic 4, you have to connect these two images.
Okay. The two images are actually a perfect example of what I would hate to be part of and what I would love. You see that crowd on the steps where people can't even see their own toes? That is something I find claustrophobic. I'm in the middle of loads of space, but when I'm surrounded by people, lots of people, I don't mean just a small group of friends or people who are known to me, but by crowds, I feel extremely claustrophobic. But when I'm in the woods in a little wooden hut or a cabin, I'm happy. I just exalt in nature. I can run around, smell the trees, smell the plants. I have no feeling of claustrophobia, even though it's a tiny little room. And I think that is some sort of a feeling I've had all my life, and it's going to stay with me, which is why at this moment, I'm sitting in my garden. I don't know if you can see the plants. Yeah, there they are. And I would rather sit here than be inside, and which is why I have my phone in front of me. So, Frenel, I would like to tell you that the one on the left, I have a problem deciding right and left because I'm ambidextrous, but the one on the left with loads of people is something I do not envy anyone being a part of. And that cabin in the woods, include me in anytime. Thank you.
Wow, wow. That was a nice one there. Do I have the volunteer for the last topic? I have a volunteer for the last topic. So I'm going to call upon DTM Dr. C.K. Ballal. You're muted, sir. Kindly unmute yourself. Okay.
There you are.
Yes. Sir, will you be taking the next topic?
Yeah, I can.
Yes.
Can you see me? I can't see myself.
Yes, we can see you. We can see you, sir. Yes.
Okay, right.
The last topic, connect these two images.
Oh, yes. This is the storm which comes after the lull. The lull is when you're just studying for the exams, day and night, burning the midnight candle. There you are. It's not me, it's my sister who studies day and night. She was one of the best scholars in the family, always studying for exams. But then she would not know how to celebrate when the studies were over. I was the one for celebrations always, and in with the crowd. And I used to tease her and say, "Come on, Srimanjari, come on, girlie, enjoy life. Learn to live life to the full. You may get your top scores in the exams, you may get your PhD, but then you should also know how to celebrate. Because celebration is one of the most important things in life. If you do not know how to celebrate, then you do not know how to go back to work again. So it is a mixture, a very good combination in life of hard work and celebration. There cannot be any celebration without hard work, and you cannot have hard work, go back to hard work without celebration. There they are. On one hand, my sister there burning the midnight oil with the books, and on the other side, they're waiting for the morning to dawn, dancing all night. It reminds me of the fun night at the Toastmasters when we have our ovation or coronation we used to have, when people used to be hands-free and footloose, dance to the tunes, which would go on and on and on, and people would not know when to stop. People would come and grab my coupons for the alcohol, but I would get the shandies and the Coca-Colas and Pepsis, and then I'd be quite happy with that. And people wondered how I got drunk on Coca-Cola and shandy or Pepsi or Sprite, but it was not the drink itself. It was the company. It was a celebration. All the hard work that had gone on to the various. We used to hold those media conferences, like right from the beginning. Toastmasters, our division has held media conferences and the ovation in Goa, and we knew how to work hard and then how to celebrate. Over to you, Toastmaster. A good combination in life of both. Thank you very much.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor, and thank you for all the table topic speakers today. You have done an excellent job. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Frenel, for that table topic session, which allowed us to indulge in a creative melding of visuals that you provided for us. You allowed us scope for proceeding beyond a certain idea. Much appreciation for that. Timer Shivani, has everyone qualified?
Yes, Tia Modi, all are qualified. All
Yes.
are within.
Dear Toastmasters, thank you, Shivani. Brian will send you the link on the WhatsApp. To our two guests, I will be forwarding you the links. Our GE, please note that I have forwarded you the previous link as well. You need to vote whenever you can. Before I hand over the session to our GE, let me take you to this one, which is 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Neologisms on relationships. You know, we have lived in relationships now because your partner is before others. What BAE? I wonder what it stands for. I knew that. Now I forgot. Before everyone else. Okay. But be careful. That person could unfollow you and could friend you once again and unfriend you. There's a difference between unfollow and unfriend. Unfollow is just following. They can't put up anything on your page, but unfriending is they can tag you and put their pictures on your page. Be careful that to check that they don't stalk you, and most of all, importantly, please don't indulge in ghosting, because ghosting, which is the practice of not responding to texts in the hope that people will forget you because you want to recede, go back from the relationship without confronting the other person. It's not a very nice thing to do because, you know, your partner would think that you are meh, whereas meh was earlier only a bleat by a goat. Now meh means you're not very interesting, very run of the mill. All right, with that, I have the pleasure of introducing to you our general evaluator, that is, dear friends, DTM Sabu Sebastian M, who is a scientist with DRDO, currently Associate Director at Naval Physical and Oceanography Lab, Kochi. He has been a Toastmaster for 16 years and he's one of the proud founding members of Kochi Toastmasters Club. DTM Sabu Sebastian, I request you to take over as General Evaluator. Over to you, DTM Sabu Sebastian.
Yeah, may I interrupt DTM Bharati? Just could we have a picture before Sabu Sebastian could take over?
Yeah, our President Leena is asking you to put on your videos and your best smiles too, ladies and gentlemen. So get ready for that.
Who is clicking, Lyra?
Yeah, I think Radhika said she would.
I'll click.
Yeah, thanks,
Yes,
Brian.
yes, Brian, yes.
Rest and take.
Tell us when it's done.
Yeah, it's done.
Yes. Thank you. Who was that who clicked?
Brian.
Brian. Thank you, Brian. Yes. DTM Dr. Sabu Sebastian, the stage is now all yours, the virtual stage to take on your duties as the General Evaluator of Port Town Advanced Toastmasters. Over to you.
Good evening. Thank you, DTM Bharati, for that wonderful introduction. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and visible, sir.
Thank you. Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. We are all in the Toastmasters. And how important is this feedback? In fact, I am working in a defense research and development organization where we also make missiles. You know how we make missiles which are hit the bullseye very accurately. So it has got a mechanism, a closed loop mechanism, wherein it continuously take feedback and correct its course and finally hit the target right. So in Toastmasters, also we do the same thing. Our target is to become outstanding speakers and leaders, and feedback is the way to achieve that target. So in Toastmasters, we have very competent peers to evaluate and give feedback. Tonight, I have an excellent team involving individual evaluators, timer, arc counter, and grammarian. So we'll move on to the evaluation of the speeches. Today, there are 5 speeches. The first speech is going to be evaluated by a member from Advanced Toastmasters Club Kochi. He is the Vice President Principal of ISAT Engineering College, Kalamasheri. He's an accomplished speaker. He has represented the club at the area and division contest. Let me invite the passionate speaker, Toastmaster Paul Ansel, to evaluate Toastmaster Wayne D'Souza. Or to Paul.
Thank you, General Evaluator. General Evaluator, Toastmasters, and my dear guest, and Toastmaster Wayne D'Souza in particular. What an excellent speech that we heard from Toastmaster Wayne D'Souza. The main highlight of the speech was the topic selection. The topic is selected at the essence of uncertainty, which each and every audience could easily relate, because we know we are in an uncertain condition. And his topic selection was more close to his personal experience too. That too gave life to the entire speech. The usages, the another attractive point of his speech was the phrases that he used to express the idea that he was about to tell us. The phrases like "swarm of bees," a separate country, blame myself. These usages, though very simple, hooked us to his speech throughout the time he spoke. And the introduction with a quote, though it's a cliche that we follow, but it is always nice that we start with something to hook the audience. And your introduction, embrace uncertainty, helped us to be with you from the very first moment of your speech. Few points that I would like to put forward for the improvement of your speech would be regarding your eye contact. Though we are in a virtual scenario, we need to look into the camera while we speak so that everybody will feel that you are talking to them. So even if like in between you are trying to memorize the sentences, you are looking to the roof. So that could have been avoided so that your lively speech would directly connect to the audience. And you had a pleasant story to tell. You could have maintained a pleasant face throughout. While you were telling about your tension, you could bring that tension to the face, but throughout the speech, it was not necessary. And even I had the same problem while I did speeches in the initial time to repeat certain words, which I would call as a launching or a landing word. Your launching and landing word was so. That could have been avoided. There is no need of connecting your one point to another by some filler words like so. And the tone of your speech was a bit on the monotonous side. Try to imbibe voice modulation. Whenever you are excited, you could just show the excitement in your voice. These are few suggestions that I would like to put forward, which will make you an excellent speaker. And the topic, the way, the beautiful language that you have, the humor that you have included, the slow pace of the language had attracted me very much. So all the very best, Toastmaster Wayne, for your future speeches. Over to you, General Evaluator.
It was a clinical evaluation by Toastmaster Paul. Now moving on to the next evaluation of Toastmaster Trisha D'Souza. We have a retired professor of English, a trainer, a charter member of 2 clubs, and a club coach too. Let's invite the passionate Toastmaster, DTM Maria Di Costa, or to DTM Maria Di Costa. Hello?
You're muted.
Sorry. Toastmaster of the Day, General Evaluator, and today particularly Toastmaster Trisha Lara D'Souza. Congratulations on breaking the ice so well. You were refreshingly clear and courageous, vibrant and vivacious as you broke the ice in impeccable expression. To echo your own words, there was a kick in the voice right from the beginning to the end. And your tone resonated with joy, which showed us that you are a happy person. As a first-time speaker, You made a mark, cliche though I may sound. You had absolutely no cliches in your speech. In astoundingly alliterative language, you broke the ice, smartly unveiled varied facets of your interesting life. You used picture-perfect words that colored your speech from start to finish, and that made me particularly happy. I truly enjoyed your speech. You were dramatic in expression, and you were amazingly, no, exceedingly confident and clear. Trisha, you showcased your capacity at drama and communication. You were vibrant and versatile in your choice of incidents to portray your life. You excelled at expression, as I already said, but you could improve on your gestures. You can challenge yourself by working on your tonal variety. Your pace of delivery, however, was natural. Trisha, if I have to really think of giving you a suggestion, I had to really think very hard. However, this is what I have to say. Trisha, you have all the capacity to run a marathon, make effective use of rhetoric, and complete your pathway in record time. Take it as a challenge, as you have the undeniable capacity to meet that challenge. Congratulations again. Over to the general evaluator.
Here we had an
Thank you so much,
encouraging.
ma'am.
Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah, here we had an encouraging evaluation embellished with colorful words. What else we can expect from an English professor? Now let us move on to the evaluation of the speech number 3 of Toastmaster Saibunisa. To evaluate, we have a homemaker who is just 3 months into Toastmastering. She really enjoys her life. I really envy her. She's into dancing, cooking, socializing, traveling, and also she does one is that of interest to me, that is yoga. Let us invite the multi-talented Toastmaster, Toastmaster Anu Sharma, to evaluate Toastmaster Saibunisa. Or to Anu Sharma.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you're audible.
Fellow Toastmasters, General Evaluator, and Zaibunisa, a very good evening. Congratulations, Zaibunisa. As you said, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. We have understood you much more today than we knew you when we met you on a virtual screen. Zaibunisa, you have taken time off to think about your life and gave a very vivid and valuable introduction of what you were and what you have become. We can see an ambitious you, raring to go higher and higher in the field of communication. You spoke clearly, you introduced yourself well. The transition from introduction, body, and conclusion was very smooth. Though it was your first time on the Toastmaster stage, your presentation sounded as if you were a seasoned speaker. Your gestures revealed your enthusiasm. You were very confident and clear. Your speech told us about your capacity, your skills, and that wit of talent with which you can rock your stage in your days to come. If I were to give some suggestion today, I would say Try tonal variation and change of pace too. Other than that, you did wonderfully well. I look forward to listening to you more and more every time we meet on this virtual platform. I wish you all the best on your journey as a Toastmaster. And today, your first step is going to help you realize the dream and plan you have for yourself. Congratulations once again on giving a record-breaking speech. Thank you. Over to the General Evaluator.
That was a crisp evaluation from the novice Toastmaster. Now let us move to the evaluation of the core speech in the last 4 years. But within this short time, she has already taken up various leadership roles like VP membership, VP education, etc., and earned the skills of leadership. Let us invite the enthusiastic Toastmaster, Toastmaster Geeta Pereira, to evaluate Toastmaster Milora Pace, or to Toastmaster Geeta Pereira.
Thank you, Dr. Sabu Sebastian. Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day, co-towners, guests, and especially Toastmaster Melora Pace. Congratulations on your stellar performance. All I could think of today was your confidence on the stage as a first-time speaker. Only a prepared speaker deserves to be confident, says Dale Carnegie. And today, that's what I felt about you. Your confidence came because you prepared and practiced for your first speech, and you delivered it eloquently. Coming to the speech objectives, your speech structure, which is a part of the content of your speech, was very good. Coming to the opening, you recited Ke Sara Sara. You grabbed the audience attention with that familiar song, and all of us could connect with you immediately. Coming to the body of the speech, you filled it up with your dreams. Your dream 1 to be a teacher, and which you are pursuing now. Dream 2 to become a child specialist, and that's what you did. You did your course in psychology. And dream 3, you want to engage in meaningful and communicative relationships. So you had a whole bunch of things in your body. And then the way you crafted and choreographed your speech, there was nothing cliched about it. Used very simple language, and we were able to understand you fully well. Coming to the delivery part, you had a conversational style. You spoke with ease. You had a smile on your face, and that showed you had a very good stage presence. You were very clear, and you had a good eye contact. But Melora, it is said that every gem has to be polished so that it can shine brighter. And today, that's what I feel. I would like to give you a couple of suggestions to you so that you can make this good speech a better one. As you tread your path in Toastmasters journey, you should learn to use your gestures and your vocal variety. Today, you had your characters in your speech, your parents, your aunt. You can change the voice and bring about a little bit of difference to your speech. Great speech, Melora. I look forward to hearing more of your speeches in Port Towners, and welcome to the club. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
We had a well-organized evaluation. Now moving on to
Sir, you're not audible, sir. Dr. Sabu?
evaluation speech number. Now am I audible?
Yeah, now you're audible. Yes, please
Hello?
continue. Yes. Please continue.
So, we have an ex-biker, a counselor and freelance trainer. Let us invite versatile Toastmaster Radhika Adappa with a round of applause.
Thank you.
Over to Toastmaster Radhika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sabu Sebastian, for that introduction. Toastmaster Bo Conroy Paul, let me first of all congratulate you on the earnestness that just shown through your speech. First of all, you excelled when it came to the title selection, when you said straight out that this is me. And then you went on to tell us about how about your story in a very beautifully crafted speech for a first timer, I would say. You did introduce a little bit about yourself, though there was a little disturbance. I can tell you what I gathered was about how you and your father share different interests, and that again, you didn't even hesitate to talk about your vulnerabilities, and you even mentioned your failures. You did show where you had put in a lot of hard work, and that, I would say, is really a great point, because what people buy is not what you say, but what you do. And communication can really improve if you work on it. So I would suggest that as you go through your Toastmasters journey, you participate and attend as much meetings as possible. And also, I would advise you not to change anything, because as per Ralph Waldo Emerson, nothing is more important than what is within you, because what lies behind you and what lies ahead of you is just insignificant. So all the best, Bo. Thank you.
Yeah, we had a very clinical evaluation. Now we'll move on to the tag team. First, we'll listen from the grammarian's report. For that, we have a former HOD of English, and she's also a trustee of MB Shetty Trust, which runs several education institutions. Let's invite DTM Urmila Shetty to give grammarian's report. Or to DTM Urmila.
She's busy unmuting.
Could you tell me how many minutes I have?
You have 5 minutes, Urmila.
Okay.
How should I show the flag? 4, 5, 4, 4.5, 5?
Yes, please.
Yeah, should be all right, Shivani.
Okay.
May I say, right at the beginning, that Bharati does not make anything easier for a grammarian. She has used so many neologisms, which I'm not going into, because I think by crafting a sentence to take in all her neologisms, she gave us not just plain meanings, but a way to sort of remember what she said. So I think that was very well done, Bharati. I'll start with the prepared speeches. Now, start with Wayne. And it was interesting that he said he had life experiences that doesn't necessarily have a title, a good way to put it. And the 2,000 people in Aloysius could have made a separate country. he said in the self-loathing time, perhaps he could have said in this time of self-loathing, and it's not good to use a double comparative. You don't say more easier. You either say easier or more easy. That is what you have to do. And he said, end to my insecurities and end to my speech, which is a good way to finish. And he used the word cliche. He said, cliched self-help group. So that was nice. Now I'll go to the evaluator right away because I thought this was make it better. This was Paul, Toastmaster Paul, and he said the topic selection was good. And he used the word essence of uncertainty that he had in his speech, which I thought was very nicely put. A small correction, each and every member of the audience. Then he had a nice phrase and gave life to virtual scenario. And you said a pleasant face throughout. I think you meant a pleasant expression throughout. We can't change faces, but we can change our expressions. Since I'm a culprit, I took in the suggestion that you mustn't use so often as transition from one thing to another. Then there was Phyllis on Trisha. There was Trisha first. She had some nice phrases: dark thoughts, precipice of life. Her subject was life itself. And the joint family challenged the roof of her house. And something narrowed her pathway, very nice. And this one thing that we've always had a discussion about, and I suggest you all look at it. Do you say dived or dove? I dove into or dived into. That is left to you to find out. Turning mirrors into windows, very nice. And familiarized myself. And she used cliche, whether or not it is a cliche, I think she said. And cushions and cuddles, wide-eyed and willing, the double. And of course, it gave her a good chance to show us that she is not a person to worry and she's happy always. There was Phyllis on Trisha. Now Phyllis used so many words, so I'm just going through the words. Vibrant and vivacious, resonated with joy, made a mark, and at which point Phyllis decided that that might be a cliche. So she said she might be guilty, but not the speaker. No cliches with the speaker. Alliterative language, varied face, I think you said. Picture perfect, exceedingly confident, showcased something, improve. And she suggested that she improve her gestures and make use of rhetoric. Undeniable, she said. So these were all good adjectives and words that one could use. Our general evaluators also added to her words by saying, embellished with colorful words, Mr. Sabu Sebastian. Then there was Zaibunisa, and her title was interesting, Zaibunisa. And she, of course, I didn't catch what she meant by time immemorial, because, and then she said somebody was so scary but supportive. That too I didn't catch. And she said, instead of saying content to dream, I think you said contempt to dream. That's how it came across. And excel, you pronounced as axel. Excel, axel. But it was very nice, your little paradise, to which you invited the Toastmasters. And Bharati capped it with saying Toastmasters will always accept an open invitation. Then there was Anu Sharma on evaluating her. She said vivid and valuable introduction. And ambitious you, that was a nice use of the phrase. Seasoned speaker, of course, we've heard. Rock your stage, she said. I don't know whether that's quite right, but anyway. Tonal variation. And you said change your face. Again, this changing your face. I'm sure it would be nice if you could just pull off, masks or something like that. But I think you have to say the change the expression on your face. And virtual platform, which has become something that we all are experiencing now. We have Melora. Melora started with Kesara Sara, and she said things like not to forget. These are little phrases that we find useful when making a speech. Not to forget, the red light has come on, and I'm still here. So she did use psychiatry draws a lot of cliche, nice one. And I go on to stellar performance. Geeta said, grab your attention, stage presence, some of the nice things that Geeta said. Geeta Pereira evaluating her. And Bo, Toastmaster Bo, blood, sweat and respect, already said by Bharati. Could not have foreseen. Failures piled on. Proficient in relating to. And Radhika, I'm only, apart from beautifully crafted and vulnerabilities and things like that, you said through your Toastmaster journey, I think it should always be on your Toastmaster journey. And Toastmaster Sabu said clinical evaluation. So, and Shivani said all are qualified. I think you have to say all have qualified. And Fennel said flawless, nice. Malini Mukund, clean and cuddle. Brian with satiate, friction, gourmet, meal, and so on. And Lolly with, I think you meant exult. You said exalt. And claustrophobic. Dr. CK burning the midnight oil, I think, rather than the midnight candle. But maybe you changed it because it was a cliche. And yes, I think it's, I've covered everyone, and I'm sorry, I think I've taken at least a minute over time. So thank you very much. It has been difficult given Bharati's flow of neologisms. Thank you.
It was a wonderful educative session from an erudite teacher. So now let us move on to the our counters report. We have an NLP coach and a Reiki grandmaster, Toastmaster for the past 20 years. Let us invite experienced Toastmaster, DTM Veera Katpitia, for the our counters report. Or to DTM Veera.
Thank you, Dr. Sabu. As I started out as an accounter today, I really started on a very low note. They say coming events cast their shadows, and it started off like that. Not a single even Urmila, when she introduced the word for the day, I thought she's going to give me something, but no, only one she had. After that, the speakers completely flawless, except for Wayne. Maybe he said so's once or twice. And Bo, you helped me a little bit. You had a few R's. You stretched the last alphabet, the last syllable of the words, like and, in, that way. But usually flawless. Table topics also completely flawless, except for CK, just small 2 R's. That also because I was nitpicking. Evaluators also, no luck at all for me today. I mean, I'm really very disappointed no luck. But then they say nothing is permanent, and by the time the grammarian came on, my luck, the tide turned, and we had Urmila with just 29 hours. So all in all, it made up for everything, and yes, we have all learned how to cover up our hours. I'm trying my best for myself. So good session, and these newbies, we have to learn from them how to control our hours. Over to you, Dr. Sabu.
Feedback on the dot. Now let us move on to the timers report. So for that, we have an area director and a division director, first lady president of Bantwal Rotary Club, at present treasurer of Port Town Club. Let us invite the outstanding leader, DTM Shivani Baliga, for timers report on the program. Or to
Yeah.
DTM Shivani.
Thank you, General Evaluator Sabu Sebastian. In all the elements, all have qualified. In the sense, all work beyond in time and within time. So not beyond time, sorry, within time, and all have qualified. So I don't have any report to say. If you want me to read, I can read the. It will take time. I don't want to take much of your time. So all have qualified.
Thank you, madam.
Please report, sir.
Yeah,
Please proceed.
Yes.
Thank you,
So
Shivani.
now coming to the whole program, the program started right at 6 p.m. and it had an excellent opening by Brian Fernandez, very live opening, and then we moved on to the presidential address, and wherein there was a business session, and she asked people to tell their achievements. In fact, it was really something which is different from our club, because these people had an opportunity. Usually in our club, there will be a message from the president, but it was compensated by the achievements from different people. So that also was a message. Then going on to the prayer, in fact, this is something different from our club. It really was it was giving a very good moment for us to rethink and become calm. So I think that is a good practice to have a prayer, and she did very well, Toastmaster Hilda. Then we had 5 excellent speeches. Some are icebreakers, but really I felt that they were all quite seasoned, like seasoned speakers. I'm sure these speakers will be again a big addition, a value addition to your club in future. And also we had excellent evaluations, which gave a lot of value to these speeches. Now again, we had the table topics, wherein Toastmaster Frenil D'Souza, he gave in a very innovative manner with pictures, wherein the contrasting pictures were were presented, and the speakers were supposed to connect it. So there were 5 speakers and all responded well. I have only one suggestion to Toastmaster Frenil, that in table topics, one of the exciting thing is the uncertainty about who will be the participant. Probably I suggest that you should not call for volunteers to come, so that people, you ask a question, an open question, which anybody can be chosen, so that everyone will keep thinking in mind what should be the answer. Then pick up one that could be giving more excitement and real punch of table topics. Otherwise, he did very well. Then coming to the counter, timer, and grammarian, they did a fantastic job. And especially, I would say that all the role players, when Shivani, especially DTM Shivani, I found that she was correctly pointing out, and she was pinning and showing without any miss those timings. And Professor Urmila Shetty, she gave an excellent presentation, though there was time slightly overshot. and Toastmaster Veera also was on dot. So finally coming to the Toastmaster of the day, I would say that she did really made the meeting, and it started with the humor, and then the neological work, that particular theme was excellently presented, wherein it was a real learning for me, because this word was also first time I was hearing, and I really understood what exactly, and a lot of takeaways for that. And also she responded after every speech and role. She was giving a good response. Let us give a big hand to DTM Bharati. Now moving on to some of my comments, I would say that some improvements, I would say this is one improvement regarding the table topics. Then one agenda, if I would say that is a difference from our club, but agenda can help in a way that for each event you may be having timing, you may be able to control, but agenda can help in controlling the time of the total meeting, because at the end you may not be knowing how much you have slipped without any reference the whole meeting. That is one, probably one we can have a look at it, but of course creating an agenda is a Herculean task that had a lot of effort. But otherwise, that lack of agenda did never detailed agenda, I would say, did never affect the performance of the individual role players. Then one great thing what I found is the member achievements what was presented well. So overall, it was not a cliche meeting for me. It was an excellent meeting. It was a difference. In fact, I came running from my office to attend this meeting, and I found that my computer is suddenly not working. But all that was taken away from the the wonderful meeting. It was really a very, very encouraging meeting. And I would say that the main strength of this club is the erudite Toastmasters. We learned the experienced Toastmasters, and the newcomers, I am sure they are going to really get benefited from these experienced guides which you have. I really enjoyed this meeting, and all to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, DTM Sabu, General Evaluator, for that very sincere opinion that you have given. You made us feel good, sir, by all the nice things that you spoke about us. We will take that home this evening. We are in our houses, but we will take it to heart this evening. You are a picture of earnestness, let me say, and you were an illustration of the commitment of a senior Toastmaster to the movement. I hope the youngsters can understand that a Toastmaster of your standing is earnest enough to ask for the list, to ask for the agenda. Toast Port Towners, he was very committed, and he followed up at every stage, even when there was a last minute change from Preetham to Phyllis. And your value additions, DTM Sabu, were also much appreciated. You added much to the role takers' acts in the meeting. Dear Toastmasters, it has been a fruitful and enjoyable evening. Our newbie Toastmasters who broke the ice will surely lead us on to more neologisms. That is why I end the meeting with this for you. Let us swim with the tide, update ourselves while all the time keeping the appropriateness of the occasion in mind, because neologisms, after all, please remember, are done in an informal setting. So we just have to take care to see if that neologism is still operative, or it has gone out of style or is too informal. Brian would have sent the voting link on the WhatsApp. Do vote for the best functionary as well. I now hand over the meeting to President Lyra. President Lyra, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Bharati. It was not at all a cliche meeting today. It was fantabulous, excellent, extraordinary meeting. So Port Towners, please unmute and give a big round of applause for the Chair Modi.
Thank you, my pleasure. Thank you.
For everybody, the General Evaluator, thank you, Dr. Sabu Sebastian, for that report.
Thank you, madam, for this opportunity.
And thank you, Toastmaster Paul Ansel as well. Now is the time. I'm very sorry for overshooting time because we never exceed 1.5 hours. But today, I do not know because it's a neological world and there were so many speakers. And anyway, we had a friend with his very, what to say, interesting topics. So thank you. That was a time for me to announce the winners. We have a tie for the best speaker, that is the prepared speakers. We have a tie between Toastmaster Wayne and Toastmaster Trisha. So both are the winners. A round of applause for the best speakers of the evening. All were good. It was very difficult for us to choose though. And there's a tie once again in the table topic speakers. It is DTM, triple DTM Malini Hebbar and double DTM Dr. C.K. Ballal. A round of applause. Congratulations. And the best evaluator is none other than DTM Maria De Costa. A round of applause for Maria De Costa. And the best role taker, without any doubt, goes to the TMOD. DTM Bharati Shivgur.
Thank you.
A round of applause. Yes. So I don't want to exceed anymore. So here I adjourn the meeting. So Port Towners, if you have any doubts, please stay back. But I adjourn the meeting officially. Thank you.
Lyra, yes, maybe you could ask our guests to take your wishes to their president. She was here with us. Right now she has President Toastmaster Jane was with us. So we request Dr. Sabu and Toastmaster Paul to take our wishes to your president. She was with us. I think just maybe a couple of minutes ago she logged out.
She had logged it.
Yeah.
Please stand up.
Toastmasters from Cochin, can I have your number? Because I have got 3 prospective members for your club.
I think they logged out. Did they know? Dr. Sabu is here.
Yeah, I can give my number. Yes.
Dr. Sabu, just give me your this phone number.
Can you send it?
Phyllis, we will give it to you, Phyllis. I'll send it across to you. I have
both of them have
good members.
Yeah, I'll send you my number.
Lyra, with your permission,
I'll pass it on, Dr. Sabu.
I'll do it.
Maria, say you're going to Kerala.
Lyra, shall I stop recording? Shall I stop recording?
I think you should, right? Meeting is over, no?